Denise, this is our 7th year together. This is simply outstanding. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I just got back from New York City, and I'm glad to be back among friends here in Illinois. In Illinois, our #1 manufactured product is corruption, and in politics, if anything happens for the good of the people in our state, it's entirely by accident. But we're starting to change that narrative. I was just downstate with Bruce Rauner, and we know I'm the head of a public charity, so we don't endorse politicians in this state, but we do endorse policy, and here was his message, and it brought tears to my eyes, that an Illinois governor was saying, we need to cut spending, cut corruption, cut government, and preserve the income tax cut. And that's the agenda all of us can get behind. So thank you in our 7th year for having me. And you are here because you want tools to be able to fight City Hall and to be able to win. And at OpenTheBooks.com, that's what we do. We understand, like you do, that knowledge is power. And our founders understood that. And they wrote it into our founding documents. It's Article 1, Section 9 of the United States Constitution, and I paraphrase, that a periodic reporting of revenues and expenses must be given to the people on a timely basis. And it's the internet age. It's the age of big data. And that must mean open the books every dime online in real time. We're executing on the founders' intent. We're now, thanks to your help with a lot of good people across the country, we're now the largest private repository of public spending. We have 2 billion lines of government transactions in our data commons. And, while government spies on your phone calls, now you can spy on the government using your cell phone with our free Open the Books mobile application. What can you find in the Open the Books mobile app? Free for Apple and Android. It's all disclosed federal spending since the year 2000. It's the Illinois State Checkbook. 2 days ago, we put the state checkbook in the mobile app, and for the first time in state history, 10 years worth of state payments, you can see it in your hometown or in a 50-mile radius of any location in the state of Illinois. What will you find when you use our Open the Books mobile app? Let's take a look at Lisa Madigan's spending. Her patronage hires, 109 of them over the course of the past 4 years. She gave them $1 million of bonuses. The state's broke. We took a look at just one of them, Cecilia Bundes. She lives 2 states away in Dearborn, Michigan. In the last 2 years, she hasn't even set foot in the office for 5 full months, according to her own time cards. 19 times in 18 months, Lisa Madigan signed the travel voucher to reimburse her to go from Dearborn, Michigan to her mother's residence in Chicago. So while law enforcement rightfully looks at Aaron Schock's travel vouchers and mileage reimbursement, who's going to look at Lisa Madigan's travel vouchers and reimbursement? When you open the books and use our mobile app, what will you find? You'll find the 2 union lobbyists, David Fricoli and Stephen Predwinkle, who substitute taught for 1 day and now earn $1 million worth of lifetime pension. And they didn't even work for government. They worked for the Illinois Federation of Teachers. Who here in the room thinks a constitutional officer in Illinois should be able to hire a lobbyist? Nobody. 2 administrations of Republican comptrollers have paid $300,000 to the lobbyists, Shea, Page, and Regal. Who's a principal? The former head of the Illinois Republican Party, Dallas Engelmanson. Join me in holding our own folks accountable. Thank you. Using our mobile app, you'll find 52 city and village managers out earning every governor of the 50 states, including Larry Heilman in Glenview, and he made $292,000 last year. So download our app, join us, and let's start holding people accountable for their tax and spend decisions. We can't complain about Washington, D.C. We can't complain about our state capital in Springfield if we don't start asking questions of our local units of government. And I engaged in this last May at I chose the College at DuPage. And because of one good trustee, Kathy Hamilton, versus 6 bad trustees, and because your support, long before I got there, you helped elect her 2 years ago with the most votes running on reform in the history of the school. Give yourselves a big round of applause. This is your victory at the College at DuPage. And here's what we found. We found the college president had an annual compensation contract worth $500,000 a year, but it wasn't enough for him. The college taxpayers paid, unbeknownst to the board, for his private country club shooting club dues and his global satellite phone when he went to Botswana and slaughtered an elephant. And then they conferred upon him when we brought the heat. They saw the light, but they gave him a $750,000 severance bonus, and they'll have paid him over $4 million in the past 6 years in total compensation at a junior college. We found an email strategy to bring political support to re-elect incumbent Governor Pat Quinn, to procure a $20 million state grant, and the email disclosed for a building that they did not need, and together, you and I, we stopped payment. $600 million spent on construction in the past 6 years. But we found that they built more office space for the administrators than classroom space for the students. In fact, they built an upscale French restaurant complete with a world-class wine cellar and hired a French sommelier. The school told us they were being transparent with every payment. But the ordinance disappeared from the board book, and we fact-checked them and found $100 million of hidden spending since 2009. And when we looked inside that spending, we in the Chicago Tribune found 500 excursions to the upscale French restaurant by the president, the trustees, and the senior executives at the school, and they spent nearly $200,000 at this restaurant, at your dime and students' dime. We found a radio station executive on the campus radio station trading with his own company and initializing his own invoices, and he was arrested and indicted. We found a school, while they claimed to be the fastest growing community college in the nation, they were cooking the books on enrollment figures. One person can light a dark room, and it was Kathy Hamilton who stood up against all institutional force at the College at DuPage. When the insiders, both at the school and at the county party, told her to sit down, she stood up and she fought even harder on our behalf. Long before the editorial pages woke up to the story at COD, you helped elect her, and we together, we did 4 things. Not only did we stop the $20 million corrupted state grant, not only did we open up $100 million worth of hidden spending, but we froze property taxes and froze student tuition for the first time in 14 years. The College at DuPage is your victory. We, you and I, Kathy Hamilton, instrumental in the success was the Edgar County Watchdogs. We have